welcome back. Thank you for joining me. I am here with Tim and Jonathan, and it's all starting to kick off. So we've got a nuclear missile gone out to the stratosphere, and it's being sent. You can't click on it at the moment because it's out of the atmosphere. It's going towards the First Nations. So the First Nations have attacked. They've finally done something, which is brilliant. They've been biding their time. I thought they might attack, because I'd seen that they'd taken Greenland, and that put them very, very close to... Oh, in fact, look. Yeah, Ireland have lost some land and a city now. Ha, fantastic. Okay, that's great news. And so the First Nations are cracking into Ireland. You can see there's been a bit of action on the news feed where, I won't go through it all, but I'll just scroll through it so you can pause and have a look yourself. But it does show that First Nations have taken out Ireland's air defence. If you remember their air officer that I've had a pot shot at every now and then. And we did take down a stack of their strikes, didn't we, John?
Yeah, they just kept getting away. They weren't staying within the range of the anti-air long enough for it to go off, which is a big bonus of strikes, is that they can just nip in and out and assassinate a troop or two.
Yeah. So, and we think Norway's sending a nuke, don't we? They're sending in, I think, troops, Jonathan, to build a big stack just near us, and Jonathan and I are sending our big stacks in. I don't know if they're very big. I've got 3 rockets, 3 SAMs, and a couple of theatre defence. And John, you've got 4 rockets, which is better, and some radar, 3 mobile SAMs, and a theatre defence. And I'm baiting the hook. We've sent the fish out in front, the National Guard, and they're just going to blaze a trail, hopefully. Should bait out his bomber, actually, because he's been picking off all my National Guards. We're just going to send another one through as well, just to see if we can clear a bit of land, because we don't really want to be travelling through his land with our stacks, because then you can see the exact composition. But if we take the land first, then follow through, he won't see what we've got coming, and he'll just think it's a National Guard. So hopefully we'll take down his bomber, and we need to get close enough to just pound him with our rockets, don't we, Jonathan?
Yeah, absolutely. I was heading for Krakow, but I'm thinking now I should head for Rowclaw, and just start attacking whatever's landing there.
Yeah, I'm going to go for it as well. And what we can do is see southwest of Krakow. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's loads of mountains to the southwest. We could retreat into those mountains if it gets too hairy, and then we could scatter into the mountains if it looks like we're not going to win, and ultimately we will.
Okay, and then we get what is it, a 20% attacking bonus from mountains?
Should be 25, I think. Let's have a look on our rockets. 25%, yeah, in mountains for attack, and that'll come in handy. So we'll have 7 rockets between us, and I think they're all at the same level, aren't they? Level 4?
Mine is going to be level 5 very soon.
How
3.5
soon?
hours.
Oh,
and it's
you beat me to it.
It's going to take me a few hours to get there too. That'd be nice. Between the 4
I've got a
rocket
day
launchers
to go
that
still.
They're going to do like 28 damage.
Cool. It'll be quite a lot.
Yeah, I'm sitting on about 15 odd rocket launchers now. So upgrading them is just going to give me a massive boost. I'm starting to get like 2 or 3 in each one of my key locations now.
I've been having a look, and it's incredible. Yeah, you've done well. I presume that's been pretty much your sole focus.
Yeah, that and theatre defence to protect against missiles. Which makes my stacks very slow. And also, I've started churning out tanks as well, to give a bit more health to the stacks. And I think they'll be quite intimidating too. And I've managed to have some boats and strikes building at the same time. So I'm also upgrading my strikes to the advanced level now. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. Maybe I'll probably upgrade my theatre defence again.
Very, very nice. You've got a really nice, strong army building. If only me and Tim had the same, but we're getting there. My production's really starting to get somewhere. I've got 371 supplies an hour, 245 components an hour, and 151 electronics, and that's the main squeeze that I've had. So I'm finally getting somewhere. Nearly got level 4 arms industry on Adana, which is the cog city, and I've got level 5 on the other cog city, and I'm building a level 3 army base, pumping out more National Guard. Should be able to maintain 1 destroyer a day now. And just in the bubble city, pumping out the rockets now. It's taking me rocket launchers 19 hours 45 minutes to do a rocket launcher, so I need to get another city building those, but I've still got so many bits of infrastructure to build because I've had to rebuild some of my cities, and in some cases most of them 3 times now. Yeah, I'm still at that stage where I'm rebuilding. But if we have a look, I've got mainly arms industries and then the odd army base and naval base, and then units. I'm building a destroyer, rocket, National Guard. So I'm getting there. How are you doing, Tim?
Yeah, pretty well. Sort of similar to you and Jonathan, just building up. Mainly been focusing on rocket launchers and theatre defence. So I've got all my cities covered now. I'm sending rocket launcher stacks, building my stacks on those points in Oman and Yemen. I'm ready to defend those choke points. Once I've got those sorted, I will build like a separate army to then be ready to send off and actually push to grab some land. But yeah, I'm kind of waiting until we actually have to go to war with New Zealand first. So for now, just preparing my defence.
Yeah, we need to talk about a couple of things, Tim. Firstly, your victory sites. Secondly, firstly, Brazil said that they're fighting a bit of a shit battle that they're struggling with against Norway and Ireland, didn't they? But hopefully everyone else will pile in and help them out. So we're doing really well. First Nations, everyone in the world is fighting Norway. We're not alone. Your victory site, you've got an airport in Jurgato, the city that's right next to it. But if your victory site's taken, that airport will be covered by anti-air, potentially enemy anti-air. So I was wondering if you'd put in like a secondary airport.
That's probably where I'll form my next stack, really, because it'll be sort of from that point I'll be pushing east.
Great.
Around there anyway, so I think I would put a defensive stack on there.
Yeah. Okay. It's just time. It's getting against us now, isn't it? Because I'm trying to form a defensive stack now in Djibouti. I've built the bunker, and I can see you're sending stuff in. Yeah, here we go. I've got a rocket launcher coming in, and a rocket launcher. I've got 2. Oh, that's cool. I've just begged, borrowed, and stolen them from other stacks because I thought they're much more valuable down here, stopping anything getting in. So I'll have 2 rockets. I'm sending a theatre defence, and I've got a SAM, mobile SAM, and then an armoured fighting. So it's the beginning of a reasonable stack, and then I've got another rocket coming in the next day. How are you doing with churning out rockets? I think they're going to be our main weapon, aren't they?
Yeah, pretty well. Able to do. They're pretty quick to build. Currently taking about 16 hours, I think. 16?
Oh, nice.
So
you've got high level morale and level 3 recruiting office. That's good.
Yeah. You can get 6 every 2 days at the moment.
Cool. Very nice. Very, very nice. So the longer we can have, the more prepared we're going to be. And it looks like the world war has started and it's kicking off with Norway. Everyone's cracking in. And I think, people are just going to want to take them out now. We've got another nuke going off and everyone's getting hit by him. He's just not going to last. And hopefully, New Zealand is... You see they're coming in on his right-hand side, his east. Surely they've got to have some ships coming down that very northern bit of coast. they've got a ton of ships, haven't they, New Zealand? We really need New Zealand to lose a load of ships to give us a chance.
He's kind of going uncontested. He's beaten Japan by he's losing 1 troop for every 10 troops of those he kills. And we haven't heard of him losing any naval battles. So, but by the time he finishes taking all of this land, he's going to be a formidable force.
Yeah, he's going to be a real tough one. He's going to take a victory site soon, and we need to talk about victory points as well. So if we have a look on the leaderboard, so last night both our coalitions got about 200 and odd points, and the scores are building quite quickly now. So we were on about sort of 4,300 and they were on about 5,300. So if we say that's going to keep happening till the rest of the game, but I know there's a big land grab on at the minute, so that might not, but if it does, then the game will last, if it's 200 points a day, 5, 6, 7, 2.5, so 12 days. But if they get a victory site, that wipes off 5 days, so they could win in 7. And then if they take Tim's victory site, they could win in 2 days. So we're getting very, very close to a point where we would have to move against them. And hopefully with our 2 stacks up there, Jonathan, we can move toward that victory site that's in France or wherever it is, whatever country that's in. It's a bit hard to see.
That will need to be a priority. But if you consider it as like a factor of the total points in this game, they'd need to take out all of Norway's coalition, all of their land and the victory points they have, which includes a victory site, and a little bit more, in order to actually win the game as 3 members. And that would mean they have to move into some of the First Nations land. And I think as soon as they decide to move against First Nations, that'll be a good time to push them out of Europe, because then they'd be fighting on 2 fronts.
Yeah, and go for their victory site in Europe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And meanwhile, we'll just be racing for the one in Norway. That's a very key location as I see it. If they were to just get some more victory sites and not really gain much more land, then they'd need around 8 of the victory sites on the map in total. I think they currently own 4. We own 3, and then there's 3 up for grabs from everyone else. Has Japan capitulated his one yet?
Not yet.
Yeah, pretty much. It's controlled by the Chosen now.
Right.
Oh.
And then we've got the one in the First Nations and the one in Norway. Yeah, it's just going to be a race to Norway, and then we'll gather some forces to quickly take the one in Ireland, which we need to put ourselves in a position where we can take it in less than half a day.
Yeah, and the quickest route is through Italy, and I can see you've got a little stack there. You've got some troops for land grabbing. Also, I'm going to start to take out infrastructure. I've been building up my cash, and I'm going to start taking out Brazil's air bases. Or should I wait for a critical moment? Shall I wait today?
Yeah, wait for a critical moment. I feel like we're looking too far ahead. We've still got some battles with Norway to come. We need to see what's coming into Roclaw. I feel like this will be the last push from them. After they've, their assault has failed here, which it will, because, they've got 4 players gathering against them. Will be pushed right up to their home cities. It may be a little difficult crossing because of all of this water. It'll be pretty much game over, because we'll be able to maybe even hit them with rockets from the coast, flying strikes, and they're good. They're just going to be losing loads of resources in the process too. Yeah,
the obvious crossing point is Tallinn to Helsinki, where we can cover that with rockets, but then it is an obvious point, so maybe others will see that, but then it can take us around to the victory site. It's more important to go for their victory site than take out their home cities, and it might be that First Nations go for their home cities, or even Brazil and Argentina and New Zealand. So, but our main competition for the victory site will be New Zealand. They won't be far off. and they might be able to cover their crossing with boats. So that'll be interesting, and I can see you going for it. The bubble cities are important as well. They give you like 60 victory points at the moment. It started off as 50, but their population has grown. So I'll go for the Lviv complex, and I'm churning out more National Guard. In the news, it's hilarious. You can see that, I don't know, like Ireland's lost their wing commander, and everyone else is taking heavy casualties, and I lost 5 National Guard. So it's quite nice that I'm not the main headline at the moment, because I have been.
And 5 National Guard, that's about the same as like 1 tank in terms of resources, or a couple of strikes. So it's something you can build and replenish very easily. And it's been distracting him while he's been losing land elsewhere. He hasn't even tried to take on this stack, which I've plowed through Moscow with. And yeah, I'm going to try and sit on the Resniki complex to ultimately move through Tallinn. Maybe I'll build an airport there to fly in some troops. Meanwhile, do you think you'll be able to clear up all of the land south, like Kharkiv, Poltava, Donetsk? And Tim, could you possibly like loop round and try and take Arkhangelsk? Because I'm concerned that New Zealand is going to move in over the top to get to the victory site before us. We just need to kind of get in his way a little bit.
Yeah, I need to cut them off a bit. I'll keep trying to mop up all that land, but he does keep sending his stealth bomber to take out my National Guard as I move forward in that area. So I'm pumping out more National Guard to replace them, and I'm sending in some mobile SAM to hopefully give them a bit more protection. So there's 1 mobile SAM here that will go to that forward position, and then a mobile SAM here that's going up here, but maybe I should have them in the middle somewhere. But yeah, either way, we're going to probably take out that stealth bomber, and as soon as that happens, then he can't stop the flood again, but he has kind of stopped the flood in a way. So yeah. So my National Guard in front of our 2 big stacks in the north, Jonathan, is in his territory now. So he'll be able to see it, and also he'll see that he's got his troops building. And I think this kind of time of day is when he's active, although he's American, right? So I think it's often being a bit later at night, maybe in an hour or 2.
This is like early afternoon for him, and assuming he works some kind of day job, he'll get on in a couple of hours, stay on till like 2-3 in the morning.
Yeah, that was a tough night, wasn't it? When he sent a big stack against Istanbul, we were on till about that time, and he was active every step of the way through. So let's, we're going to see some action then. So I think what he's been doing with his bomber throughout the day is just sort of bouncing on, picking a target, sending his bomber toward the National Guard, then bouncing off, and just continuing his job. And that's why I haven't lost every single one of them, but he has been picking them off bit by bit. So, okay, that'll be interesting. This will be a hell of a bit of bait then, this National Guard. He'll feel a bit annoyed about that one, I think.
Yeah, just try and keep it as close as possible to my stack, because my radar can pick up on stealth. But the stealth bomber will need to literally fly right next to or over my stack. My stack's also very slow because of the theatre defense. So
I'll slow him down then. He'll be.
Or you could like serpentine him to take more provinces, but ultimately get there slower. Slalom your way to wherever I'm going to go. And bear in mind, I'll just be sitting just in the province you're about to take, because that's where I can bomb Roclaw.
You can reach him from there?
Yeah, apparently. It seems a bit ridiculous.
No, but that's your outer ring. That's your theatre defence, isn't it? Your inner ring.
No. Well, I mean, the theatre defence doesn't attack, so when I press attack on that stack, it considers the rocket launcher. So he will attack there.
Oh, okay. You mean the next one? Yeah, I can see. It might be slightly in the one after, actually. Okay, cool. Can you tell me how long it'll take you to get to your attack point? Is it 4 hours, 16 minutes?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so if I duck and dive to the right-hand side, then go up, if you can see what I'm laying down, that'll take me 4 hours, 27.
I mean, like, if you curve around to the right, then you can sit in this mountain, one of these mountain ranges you were talking about before, just southwest of Krakow. Get that attack bonus, but I'll be first in the scene, but you'll be there with more power a little later on.
Oh, okay. Yes, because I'm sending a National Guard to the right-hand side near the petrol province. He's going across through the mountains to give me a path to get into those mountains in case I needed it. So if I take your provinces that you're going to need and then move him to the right to the mountains. Yeah. Okay. That way, whoever he goes after, the other one will just be able to keep pummeling him while the other one sort of runs away toward... Yeah, we can do a little interesting game of tag there. So he's still building up his stack. He's going to have quite a few things going on. I've seen... He's going to have like 5 or 6 things there at least. He's probably got an officer there. We know we've taken out his tank officer and his infantry officer previously.
Oh, he's almost definitely built them again.
Yeah, I think he's a bit determined, isn't he, to have another go because he hasn't quit yet. He's just been building and building. And, he's even without gold, he's had a lot of resources from all that land he took. So with or without gold, he'll have had time to build some stuff up. So we'll be facing something quite formidable here, I think. And he'll have researched a bit more, so he'll have higher level units. So we're going to have a hell of a fight on our hands. And I'll see, I mean, it would be nice if we could get it captured on video. But we'll have to see what I'm doing. It's going to take a while to get there, isn't it? It's like 4 hours. So it's going to be quite late. It's going to be in the middle of the night, maybe, when all this is going on.
Yeah, we'll need to check back in the morning. And if we need to make any extractions there, that's going to be the time because it's the middle of the night for him.
Yeah. Okay. This is going to be tricky. Good, you're taking that Russian land, Tim.
Yeah, I've just done what Jonathan said and sort of waypointed out. Arkhangelsk. So that's a day, I think.
I mean,
it's under a day.
It could be a bit risky. Like he may well send some fighters over there.
Yeah.
But I doubt he's got any troops sitting on there. I don't see why he would.
I just dragged towards it. It's not like sort of making an attack from outside the city. So
yeah, I don't think there's anything there. I've been close there before, but a while ago. We've got 6 minutes till this nuke hits. We could stay on until then and see what it does. I'd presume they've got theatre defence on all their cities. You said they've got a level 5 army base somewhere. It's a level 4 there that's either being built or damaged.
Well, that's the
level
thing,
5.
though. You're going to need at least a couple of mid-level theatre defence just to kill one of these ICBMs. One isn't enough. It's got like 40 health.
Well,
yeah.
Oh my god! So if he sent one at all of us, we would be struggling.
Oh yeah. So what I've done is just consolidated my theatre defence onto my most important city, the one that's making theatre defence. He hasn't sent any nukes my way so far. I feel like he's targeting the First Nations because he's incurred into Ireland's home cities.
Yeah.
I really don't know how he managed to invade so easily. I would have thought that Ireland would have some subs just sitting outside, or maybe some ships, but there you go.
Yeah,
absolutely nothing.
Brazil said that they were in a big fight, didn't they? That they didn't think they were going to win, so maybe Ireland have sent them all. I mean, do we know where Brazil had their boats?
He didn't make it clear because I think when he told me the first time, it was a bit of a. He didn't make it very clear earlier. I'd
I
sort of
was
assume around Ireland.
guessing like west of Morocco. Just
Oh yeah, could be that
I
as well.
think I saw some ships there at some point. I can't really remember, to be honest.
Yeah, and Argentina's got they had like 3 stacks of 5 naval planes, didn't they? So they'll probably be in on the action. So it's good. They're running down their troops to give us a chance.
We know like a fair bit about their army comps because it sort of tells us what we're back for. If he's sort of relying on things like recon planes, as long as we have plenty of frigates, plenty of anti-air, then those won't be a problem.
Oh yeah,
and set up a lot of traps for them. Speaking
of which, I've got a naval officer now with my frigates, so that's a really nice like anti-air stack, and it's pretty. I mean, it's fairly powerful for a frigate. So they've got a little bit of helicopter defense as well, and 7.5 against boats, 4 against subs, and then the naval officer is like 12 against boats, 6 against subs, 3 against helicopters. So it's kind of like a mid-level defense. It's not going to be destroyed in one hit, but it's not going to last very long against a stack of cruisers or necessarily subs. So that's why I'm building a stack of destroyers as well, and got one up there. Coming back to regroup with the next one I'm building, so I'll have 2 in 7 hours. 1 at the moment. What sort of ships are you guys focusing on?
I only really got destroyers and frigates and subs, and because I didn't have enough components, I built a corvette with some spare supplies, which I mean it won't go far, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I saw that corvette earlier. And I wondered if someone had hacked your account and was playing a joke on you.
I mean, yeah, didn't really know what else to do. Just wanted to have something building. Have you had a look at the stats of this ICBM?
I have, but let's talk through it because it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So, as well as it being difficult to shoot down, go on, you talk us through it, John.
Yeah, it just does a lot of damage to pretty much everything. Some other missiles vary, but this completely destroys troops and tanks. But the big one is it'll destroy all your buildings if it hits, and it will destroy all of your population. Population never goes below 1, but yeah, as we've seen with some of cities after the aftermath of his nukes, it takes a long time to recover.
Yeah.
It's very devastating. But what will also happen is every single civilian casualty will incur a morale penalty, and we should definitely keep an eye on some of Norway's cities to see exactly how much that morale goes down. And it might go down at midnight, or it might just immediately jump down. Yeah, watch out for that.
We'll have a look then. Lviv complex is at 46%, Resniki is at 50%, and then Obrero is at 54%, and then his capital is at 100%. That'll be a good enough sample that will be easy to revisit. And we've got 1 minute 14 seconds. Okay, wow. So he's going to struggle to shoot this down even if he's got 1 theatre defence. Needs 2, we think. And it's level 4 nuclear ICBM.
Is that the max level?
I'm not sure. I would think it might be. Let's have a look.
Yeah, it is.
It is. Yeah.
And it takes 5 nuclear warheads to fire off 1 level 4.
Cool. There's a lot of supplies involved in that. A lot of stuff that goes towards that. It's an expensive weapon.
I mean, if you're able to just shoot it down, it's just a complete waste, isn't it, for them? So
yeah, it's the same as like wasting a few cruisers. But equally, what is he standing to lose? He's going for his level 5 naval base.
Yeah.
So clearly he's been harassing with him some kind of cruisers. I would have thought he would have gone straight for Minneapolis.
Yeah, the capital. Yeah.
There we go. Maybe some fallout will hit Minneapolis. We're about to find out.
5, 4. We're going to see a nuclear missile hit. I've never seen this before. I've seen them in the air. Whoa. Okay, mushroom. Oh, it's hit. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, everything's gone.
Oh, he's kept his level 2 naval base. You know.
Ouch, that's gotta hurt. Population down to 1.
Oof.
Morale down to 41%. That's pretty high morale, considering they've been nuked.
Skull of Doom. Well, they're optimistic, you know. Maybe they got their fallout shelters somewhere.
Wow.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just taken out his fuel is all the way down to 250, and that was at 3,000 a day before. So I mean, he's got no fuel.
I know. I know exactly what it's like because I took one. His morale's not gone down yet, so it'll be midnight. The hit comes. Whoa.
I'm going to stick some intelligence on his cities because I want to know how many warheads he has left.
Yeah, well, I looked early game and he had like, I don't know, day 10 he had like 18 or something, like regular warheads, 3 chemical. So I don't know if we'll see it. Previous day, we can see. I know we can only go back a few days. I think he's got counter ops on all his cities. Does it work if you put like intelligence ops on a random city, or does it have to be one of his home cities?
That's a good point. I'm not sure. I've just stuck at one of his home cities, but like they're never going to survive, are they?
Probably not.
It's a bit random. Sometimes it does show like all of their resources, and sometimes it just doesn't. Sometimes it does, even if you don't do intelligence necessarily. Found.
Where do you think I should stick some intelligence then, just to try and get read on his warheads?
Just capital maybe. Depends how much money you've got.
I've actually got quite a lot, so I could kind of pick a few and spread my bets out a bit. I think I'll have a look on the Orobo complex and maybe Rovenheim. I don't know, just to see what he's got up there before I send my troops up there anyway. And intelligence, they aren't too expensive compared to sabotage and corruption. They're half the price of those. Not as cheap as counter ops, but yeah, it'll be good to see what's going on.
We know the aircraft contact from Brazil is 2 stacks of air superiority, so they'll be really easy to gun down with our stacks.
Oh, it was so tempting just to go to war with them earlier and get 10 kills right there and then.
I was thinking exactly that. I was very tempted.
I think as soon as I'm thinking that about like the Suez Canal as well. Like even if we weren't necessarily at war with them, if we suddenly saw a stack of ships there and they're killable, it's worth just cracking into them. I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah.
Damaged.
Yeah.
That would be an act of war in itself if we saw a stack of ships coming up the Suez Canal. That's why I had to go to war against Norway and Ireland when they came very close to me. It was an act of war.
So we need to watch out for when Madagascar disappears. He's currently duking it out with New Zealand. He's got a fair few ships down there. I don't think he's going to last too long. And then the natural course for New Zealand would be to kind of back up a little bit to Sri Lanka or just move straight through either the Suez Canal or the African River. So I'm already getting some troops down there to prepare for it. So are you two. And we'll just be able to harass him with launchers and hopefully make him think twice about it.
Oh yeah, depending on which route he goes to. So I'm going to build an airport. Yeah, I'm building an airbase now in Djibouti, near the entrance of the Suez Canal. So depending on which lane he goes down, the canal or your river, or both, you will be able to transfer troops. So our rockets are transferable, aren't they? And I've got a bunker there already, Tim. I see you've got a level 2 in yours. That's good. And you've got a fly-in zone behind you, which is even better. So if you want to put an air base somewhere along the African River, Jonathan, if you need
I've
backup.
got building one on the Juba complex, and as a backup, there's one just north of Khartoum, which has been incredibly useful. I've used for a while.
Great. Perfect.
Otherwise, I mean, there's one in Unud. If we want to get in there earlier around Brazzaville, that will probably be utilised to fight off Brazil at some stage. Yeah. Just thinking about New Zealand for now, I think we've got all the locations covered.
Looking good, and I think that's a great point to pause this episode. See you tomorrow, where things are getting interesting. See if there's any fallout from the First Nations nuclear winter. Goodbye from me.
That's goodbye from me.
From me.
Over and out.